tell me it's not your fault? I never, ever want to see you again.
Well, I thought the first one was really interesting, especially about the social media aspect of it. And it's like she made a deal with the devil for beauty, and there's a comic book kind of based on that called Beauty. I wish they're making a TV show out of it that I collect, that I read, called Beauty. But see, the theme was like, we'll give you a vein and vanity, but through like social media, I don't understand the following thing. I don't understand that at all. Like, why do people want to follow somebody they don't know or socialize with? I don't know. It's weird. But there's the aspect of vanity and vain. We'll give you the vanity in vain, but you got to sell something of yourself. And that's what alienation by yourself. You may have people following you that you don't know, virtually never met. 27,400, 200 people that you don't socialize with. But we'll give you what you want, and that's beauty through vain and vanity. But I want to give you a rebirth to what you were before. Not before, what were you before, but before you wanted vain and vanity, and a shopping problem and stuff like that. So it was interesting. There's a lot of different themes, but I thought mainly it was about vanity and vain, and how much we crave it, and adulation from other people.
Okay.
So there's a few different themes in there.
Not necessarily vanity, but more so social validation. And the scene where she was taking pictures of herself and it was completely quiet, like that was very uncomfortable, because that's exactly what happens with people,
It's
except
true.
that they just don't recognize it. They're in a very external perspective. But despite it being about social media and social validation, it almost seems as if like that's the theme that we can't run away from. Because at the end, the spine that when it was posted, it was like she grew a spine. Now she's gonna go into the world, but nevertheless, what social validation is she gonna get out of it? Whether it be like, oh, I hear the birds now, I could go outside, but it's ultimately about what it is that we get from other people. So I thought that was kind of like interesting.
I feel like that film kind of raises who are we off of social media. So I know a lot of you guys kind of laughed when she was taking the pictures and then the different outfits, and then I heard a few chuckles also when she was making the food look perfect and taking a picture of that. Can any of you guys relate to that?
I guess that we are discussing the film, but different perspective. No, I don't relate to the food. Like, I'm a guy, I don't care about that shit. Like, make it good, forget the pretty. But I do, I'm the father of 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for her, for how much effort goes into putting that empty life out there and being so alone. Especially that moment that he described, that she was taking the pictures and it was totally silent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no one there. You're not even there. It's your fantasy. And at the end of the day, the girl that walked out with the mask, it was her alter ego. She had no life outside of her alter ego. When she was stripped of her alter ego, she was empty. And yeah, there's a moment that it might evolve into getting out, but you don't know because they don't show it. The one who gets out is the alter ego of her. And it is so hard for girls right now, because guys, you don't see that much doing that. And I think that they should make a version of that film from the guy's perspective, because I don't think that is a girl issue or a boy issue. I think that that's a human issue. Nobody wants to be alone. And when she was stripping her skin, it goes back to the first film with, are you comfortable in your own skin with who you really are, or do you need to change it? And how is that change happens? How does that looks like? So it was really, really, really deep. But I like the sci-fi, the steampunk. That was my favorite.
Because I do personally know some guys that do spend a lot of time, coordinating, making sure their beard looks nice and such. Yeah.
Share something that I heard once about social media, how it's actually an oxymoron because there's nothing really social about it. Most people who are like that young lady, she's isolated and even when her whole point of her day is to get up and make it look like she looks like this effortlessly. She's spent countless hours her entire day, and then it culminates with her flopping down in front of the TV, escaping into yet more fantasy, other people's lives, all of the unreality shows that are on, and until she falls asleep, and then the world is revolving around her and she's not a part of it. It speaks to depression, which is rampant among our young people. They're all trying to live up to this status, this ideal that is all make-believe, and their barometer is how many likes they get. My 19-year-old daughter, she almost broke my heart once when she was telling, she's got eyelashes from here to Mexico, and she's got this gorgeous hair and this, beautiful cinnamon skin, and she wants to look like this girl who has, 100,000 followers. And I'm like, why? You should be wanting people to emulate you. You shouldn't be trying to look like them. But that's a common way that young people exist now. They believe that they need to be validated by all of these likes, and we're like inflicting all of this harm on each other, by making it seem like this is what you need in order to matter. You need to have the validation of strangers, absolute strangers, while you have basically divorced yourself from your real world, the people who are really in your world. So I felt it was really powerful, and I saw it being about courage. She was like forced to be reborn, and then she looked like she was going to step out into courage to follow through and be the ingenuous, version of herself.
Yeah, as human beings, we all crave that connection, and getting that validation is true.
What I liked about the last scene of this movie is that this figure with the mask takes off the mask, and actually that was not a demon, that was a beautiful lady. So like when I don't carry my cell phone with me, or when we get disconnected from Facebook, we feel some kind of fear, anxiety, because we want to get connected with people through that social media. But is it really good when when those things get taken away from us? Is it really a bad thing? So until the time she realizes, those good things about getting out of that, old habits, maybe, that figure may really look like a demon. But actually, when she gets back to her natural condition, that's when, she can realize that maybe was herself, inside of herself, that figure was herself, who shouts inside from her that I want to be myself, I don't want to live like this. So that's what I liked about the last scene of the movie.
Touches on the idea of if you just grow to accept yourself, then you won't feel that anxiety that you're talking about.